Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala, pastor of St. Malachi Catholic Church in Sterling Heights. Welcome to Saint of the Day. Today is September the 30th. Today's saint is Saint Jerome. Well, how to talk about Saint Jerome? Let's talk about language. Language is always evolving. Language is always changing. If we were to listen to the fireside chants of Franklin Roosevelt, we'd understand it, but he would use some terminology and some words that we probably wouldn't use. We'd recognize it, but it wouldn't be in our common speech. If we read the Gettysburg Address, even more so. If we read Shakespeare, well, we might understand every 4 out of 5 words, but we'd have to be looking up some words to understand what the bard was actually saying. Language is always changing. And we know that over time, Latin evolved into Italian and French and Spanish and Portuguese. Well, St. Jerome, a very wise, intelligent, well-educated Roman priest who worked for the Pope in the mid-300s, was called to a language task. You see, Pope Damasus realized that the early texts used in liturgy and the early texts of the Bible were written a couple of hundred years before. And because the Latin language had evolved over 200 years, he felt that the Bible had to be updated to reflect how Latin was read and spoken in the early 400s. And so he asked Jerome to retranslate the Bible and bring it up to date. Well, Jerome took this task very seriously. He decided that he would go to the sources, and he thought there was no better place to do this job in Bethlehem. He thought Rome was too noisy, too many distractions. He traveled to Bethlehem. He rented out the cave next to the manger, moved in, hired the local rabbi to teach him Hebrew, and went about the business, and it took him years to do this, of updating the Bible into a more modern Latin, or the Latin of the late 300s, early 400s. He is the patron saint of scripture scholars. And one of his most famous quotes that all of us should take to heart was, "Ignorance of scripture is ignorance of God." So every day, I think it's very incumbent on all of us to read a little bit of the Bible.